Saddleback Educational Publishings. Tour Trouble. Meg flopped onto the bed. "Yes," she shouted. "We are at a motel. This is a real vacation. Finally!" For the first time, Meg and her parents were not staying with aunts or uncles. She did not have to share a room with cousins. The motel was near the ocean, too. This was going to be the best trip ever. "This bed is so soft," Meg told her parents. "I never want to leave." She sat up and looked out the window. In a flash, she was standing on the bed. "I can see the beach from here." "Get down, Meg," Mrs. Brown warned. "You will fall." "I'm just excited," Meg said, jumping down. She could not wait to explore. There were places to hike and bike. Swimming was in her plans too, of course. "I'm going to the lobby," Meg said. "There are flyers about activities." Mr. Brown stood up. "We will go with you." Meg sighed. "My parents are so strict. They never let me do anything on my own." In the lobby, Meg read about tours and boat rides. "Look at this!" She held out a flyer. "Paddleboard with us" was in big letters. That sounded exciting. The flyer had a photo, too. People stood on boards. They looked like big surfboards. Riders used oars to glide through the water. Mrs. Brown shook her head. Too dangerous. But Meg was not giving up. She studied the map on the flyer. "This is right down the street," she said. "I can walk there. And it's in the Sound, not the ocean. The water is calm." Meg waved the paper. "It's even called Safe and Sound. What could happen?" "Anything could happen," her father said. "The answer is no." Meg slumped her shoulders. "I really want to do this," she said softly. Her parents looked at each other. Mrs. Brown nodded. With a sigh, Mr. Brown said, "Okay, but we will watch from the beach." "Thank you," Meg squealed. "There is a sunset tour. We can go tonight." After dinner, the family walked to the beach. The water was calm. Color streaked the sky. It was so beautiful. This will be so much fun, Meg thought. Boards were lying on the sand. People were gathering. She waved to her parents. Then she ran to join the group. "Hello," the leader said. "My name is Joe." He helped Meg choose a board. It was huge. "This is better for balance," Joe said. After everyone got their boards, Joe took his into the water. "Gather around," he called. He showed them how to get on. Then he explained how to paddle. Meg watched and listened. It seemed simple. Everyone waded into the water. Meg dragged her heavy board. She placed her paddle on it. Then she slid on too. For a moment, Meg stayed on her knees. Then she tried to stand. The board tilted. "Whoa!" she cried. Maybe it was not that easy. Joe came to help. "Stay in the middle," he said. "Look straight ahead. You go where you look." She found her balance. Next, Meg tried to paddle. The board made a sharp turn. Again, she almost fell. "Keep the paddle closer," Joe called. Meg nodded and tried again. Now she was doing it. "Good, Meg." Joe turned to the group. "We will go out when everyone is ready." A man next to Meg laughed. That may take a while. His name was Pat. He was lying flat on his board. I'm too old for this. You can do it, Meg said. Slowly, Pat got to his knees. Then he stood. His board rocked back and forth, but he stayed on. Nice, Joe called. Okay, let's go out farther. On her board, Meg felt steadier. She moved smoothly. Pat dipped his oar too deep. He wobbled and almost fell. This is hard. Meg circled back. I'll stay behind you, she told him. Together they paddled out. Small waves lapped the boards. The sun dipped low over the water. A warm breeze blew. Pat began to relax. Let's take a break, Joe said. You can kneel on your board. Lie down if you want. Pat stretched out. It won't be easy to get up, but I need this. On her knees, Meg smiled. She looked out at the water. It was peaceful. Suddenly, Meg heard a loud noise. A helicopter was in the sky. Its loudspeaker crackled. Then a man's voice came through. Go back to shore. Sharks in the area. I repeat, go back to shore. Sharks. Meg gasped. There are sharks here? I thought they stayed in open water. Then she saw fins in the distance. They sliced through the waves. Get to shore, Pat cried. In a panic, he forgot about his paddle. He thrashed his arms and legs. Fear spread. People screamed. They tried to swim to shore on their boards. Stop, Joe shouted. Get your arms and legs out of the water. The sharks will think you're seals. You look like them from below. The warning came too late. Seconds later, a shark broke through the surface. Shark! Meg yelled. It was right next to her. The shark twisted. It hit her board. She was tossed off. Meg fell into the sound. Underwater, all was silent. She opened her eyes. Seaweed swayed. Fish darted. A large dark shadow moved below. It was the shark. Quickly, Meg swam to the surface. People paddled around her. Pat was shouting. Where is my board? She wondered. Meg spun around. It was right behind her. In 2 strokes, she reached the board. She scrambled back on, but the shark came up too. Meg could see its sharp teeth and black eyes. It surfaced inches away. Meg, punch it in the nose, Joe yelled. There was no time to think. Meg swung hard. Her fist hit something solid. Did I hit the nose? She wasn't sure. The shark did not move. It froze in place. Then it sank into the water. Everyone, Joe called, stay on your boards. Don't paddle. Let it swim away. They all stopped moving. Pat drew up his arms and legs. Meg could not see the shark. Was it under a board? Minutes passed. It felt like ages. All clear, said the man in the helicopter. Everyone let out a breath. No one talked. They were still stunned. Okay, Joe said. His voice shook a bit. Follow me back to shore. Soon they were in shallow water. Meg jumped off the board. She felt like laughing and crying. Safe and sound at last, she thought. Where are my parents? Looking around, she pulled her board to shore. The beach was crowded now. There were TV cameras, Reporters held mics. "Hello, miss," a reporter stopped her. "People saw you out there. They said you punched a shark. You are a hero. Can we ask you some questions?" Meg did not know what to say. She felt strange. None of this seemed real. "Excuse us, that's our daughter." "Mom! Dad!" Meg cried. Her parents pushed closer. They hugged her tight. Mrs. Brown turned to the reporter. "I'll talk." "I'm so proud," Meg's mom said into the mic. "My girl saved the day." She looked at Meg. "If she can fight off a shark, she can do anything." "You mean that?" Meg grinned. "I can do anything?" "I saw a flyer for a jet ski tour at the motel." Mr. Brown frowned. "Let's stick to dry land. How about a bike ride? You can go to the corner store. Don't forget your helmet." Meg smiled. It was a start.